We're just about to be joined by Dave Allen, who has now signed on to fight Arslanbek Makhmudov in November in Sheffield. Dave, I need to ask you, mate, why have you picked this fella? He's a monster, isn't he?
Yeah, it was a good idea 2 weeks ago. And then when it got announced, I did think, oh, I'm not sure. And then Saturday afternoon, I was in the kitchen with my missus, and I said, I don't know, really. So I'm not too sure now. Now it's actually happening in here. I'm not sure. But I don't know, really. It's one of the biggest challenges possible. And, yeah, it's here now, yeah. So we've done it and made the fight. And it's a good fight.
Yeah, it is a good fight and a very dangerous fight. Makhmudov is one of those guys that is very, very heavy-handed and one of the most feared heavyweights out there, or he was definitely one of the most feared heavyweights out there. And you had a world of opportunity there as well, Dave. There was lots of names being mentioned with you, even Deontay Wilder as well. And this one was sort of like out of the blue. No one expected it. No one saw it coming. How did that decision get made?
Well, the really big fights weren't going to happen. I didn't think I deserved him anyway. I was beat Johnny Fisher. You know, people talking about Josie Parker. I didn't think I deserved a fight like that. So when the British title fight fell through, got sent a list of names: Tony Yoka, Heisa, Barrier, Otto Wallin, Makhmudov. So I looked at this list, and I just thought, one, who's going to get me out of bed every morning to train, and two, what'll help fill Sheffield Arena, and I guess three, who can I beat stylistically, who gives me the best chance to beat him? And the answer to all three was Makhmudov.
You often say, and it's very, I want to use the word sweet, but I can't use it in conjunction with a boxer. It's very endearing. You often talk about the level that you're at and say, I'll be lucky to get to British level, and I want to get that because it means a lot to me to win a British belt, and it mean a lot to my old man. Jamie Moore thinks you're a bigger level. Is this you creating an image of under-promising and over-delivering? Is that a bit of bluff going on there?
No, I think with Makhmudov, I don't have to be a world-class boxer to beat him. I've always said that I'm not a world-class boxer, but I think I'm a world-class fighter. And Makhmudov's going to come to me and fight, and I've always said if anyone stands still and they go punch for punch with me, I'll beat him. And Makhmudov should do that. So I fancy beating Makhmudov. Yeah, as scary as he is, he's well above British title level, but he's going to fight my fight, and I don't think anyone can beat me at that.
Yeah, I think Makhmudov, he's guaranteed to come at you, mate. That's the sort of the way he does. And if he blows a gasket in the process of doing that after 4 or 5 rounds, you know, then it's a great opportunity for you. Dave, you're number 9 now with the WBA. So you're in a great position, man. Like, when you talked about, like, getting the opportunity and winning that British title was your sort of world title, you never know, mate. You're 1 win away now from putting yourself right up there with a world of opportunity. So it's a fantastic time for you.
Yeah, I was rated 13 in June. I never boxed in June or July, and I was rated 9 in July. So I said to Ed, why don't I just sit it out till December? I might be number 1 by December. So I don't know how these rankings work. I'm not the 9th best heavyweight in the world. If I beat Arslanbek Makhmudov, I'll be really proud of myself, actually. That's why I wanted the fight. I thought, if I beat Makhmudov, I know I beat a good fighter. Is he world level? Probably not, but he's not far off. So,
well, if you look at Dave when he went into that fight against Caballero, the expectation was that Caballero was going to struggle in that fight, and he didn't. And so Makhmudov's reputation has gone down a little bit since then. But I wanted to talk to you about, but it's still a very big challenge for you, notwithstanding the fact that he's had a couple of losses in his last 2 or 3 fights. Is there any similarities in this fight between yourself and David Price? It's a stadium fight. You're at the front of the agenda as far as people are concerned. Does that ring any bells in your mind, or are you not worried about it? It's an opportunity and you're ready to take it at this stage in your career?
Yeah, I don't worry about anything really, but there is similarities in terms of his physicality, his physical presence, the size of him. But David Price was actually a very, very good boxer. When I boxed him, he had a good jab. He boxed me. He was patient. He had good defence. And you know, I was 27 years old at the time, but I was very much a child. I'm fighting Makhmudov now at 33 years of age. I'm a totally different person now. You know, it's a different fight. Makhmudov is not David Price. I think Makhmudov is more dangerous, but I don't think he will come to box. He'll come to fight. And yeah, I fully expect to beat Makhmudov. I wouldn't have took it otherwise. Of course, there's a bit of trepidation. I'm a bit nervous. 10 weeks out, I'm nervous already because, like you said, the pressure. I do feel the pressure. I'm very confident we're gonna fill Sheffield Arena. So of course I feel the pressure. Of course I'm nervous. I'm terrified, to be honest, thinking about it.
But that's good, though. It concentrates your mind.
Yeah, it's the expectation that gets you.
Yeah.
I'll fight Makhmudov 7 days a week in the gym when you got 10,000 people really wanting you to win. I don't want to send people home upset, so I'm training really hard. Yeah.
You had that with Lucas Brown as well, didn't you? Like you sort of delivered there. That was a fight that you was going into, and you know Lucas Brown's team were very confident, former WBA world champion. You sort of delivered there, so you've got that experience now. The apprenticeship is very much over, and you've got this now opportunity. What's it going to be like boxing in front of your home fans in Sheffield?
Yeah, I can't wait to get to Sheffield Arena. I've boxed there loads of times on Kell Brook undercards. You know, always been the bridesmaid, really, on the undercards. You know, people coming out to watch me, and always been like a bit of a show filler, and, you know, been in decent fights and stuff, but going to Sheffield Arena, Naseem Hamed, Kell Brook, Dalton Smith, now me. So it means a lot to me. Yeah, it does. It really does. And you know, I've sold over 1,000 tickets in the first weekend personally myself. So I've never seen Sheffield Arena full in years. So if
Fantastic.
I can go there and fill it and get a result,
you deserve it,
amazing.
Dave. You deserve it, mate. Listen, when if he Just going to talk about you for a second, Dave Spencer. If he wins this fight, which he expects to do, and I like to hear him talking this way, where does this put Dave now? What opportunities does it create? Is he looking across at Adelaide and Hrgović and thinking that's the next step after that?
Absolutely. Like, look, as I mentioned there, he's WBA number 9 in the world right now, and he goes in against Makhmudov, who's, like you said there, a couple of fights ago before Kabiel was considered the monster of the division. No one wanted to fight him. Kabiel beats him, and then all of a sudden people start fancying it a little bit. But he's still a world-class, world-ranked fighter. So you go, Dave wins this one. It puts him in there right in the mix with all those big names. So, you know, like I say, it's opportunity. We had Frank on just now saying, look, this is what happens. You're one win away, which we saw there against Johnny Fisher. You're one win away from putting yourself right in the mix. I mean, it was only, I don't know what it was, 18 months ago or so. I was watching Dave boxing on an undercard, a very small hall show with no TV. So, like, that is where you're at.
Absolutely. Listen, before I let you go, Dave, I want to ask you about 2 fights that are coming up and what your view on them is. We've obviously got Moses Atoma versus Dillian Whyte, and we've got the fight that I just mentioned to Spence, which is David Adelaide against Filip Hrgović. How do you see those fights going?
I think Dillian Whyte's only had 3 fights in 3 years. At 37 years of age, I expect Atoma to win inside the distance. Dillian Whyte, his best was a world-class heavyweight, but we haven't seen him at that level for 5 or 6 years, so you know, they're not daft. They won't put him in with Dillian Whyte if they thought it was anywhere near his best. And Hrgović should be way too good for Adelaide, but Hrgović never seems to. He always flats to deceive. Really, he never really impresses. But his amateur background and even his wins as a pro really puts him levels above Adelaide. But yeah, I'd like Adelaide to win, but I think Hrgović on all-known form should win. Right.
So Hrgović against Adelaide is your pick, and Moses Atoma dealing with Dillian Whyte predominantly because of Dillian's inactivity. Yeah,
Dillian Whyte's 37, had 3 fights in 3 years. He's you know, the Frank Warren's very, very good with his matchmaking. I don't think he'll get it wrong.
No, me either. Before I let you go, one last question, and I asked it for Frank Warren previously, but I'll ask it for you. And I thought some of the things that you said after the Usyk Dubois fight were absolutely on the money. And I thought some of the observations you made against the other pundits were good and well balanced. And I thought it was very interesting the way you pushed back against certain things. But having seen Usyk now do the numbers that he's done on the top heavyweights that we've seen in the division, unfortunately, most of them are British for us, where do you put Usyk now in your list of great heavyweights?
No, it's difficult, really. He's only had 8 fights at heavyweight. He's only had 5 opponents. Charles Weatherspoon, Chisora, Dubois, Fury and Joshua. How high can you rate him, really? Muhammad Ali boxed Fraser 3 times, he boxed Foreman, he boxed Liston, he boxed everybody. You know, as did Holyfield, as did Lennox Lewis. So you're judging someone off 8 fights and 5 opponents. So I think it is difficult. I think for ability, he's right at the very top. I think for his resume, it's difficult to place him at the very top because he only had 8 fights and 5 opponents. But yeah, I think he's one of the best fighters of all time, but I couldn't call him the best heavyweight of all time.
Dave, nice to see you. We're all behind you. Good luck in November. We'll speak to you before then anyway, mate.
All right, mate. Thank you.
Take it easy.
Cheers,
mate. Bye-bye.